He predicted the earthquake in Kobe 1 week before.
On the morning of March 20th, 1995, a new era in international terrorism began. On that day, 11 small containers of the chemical nerve gas sarin were carried by members of a fanatical Japanese cult called Om Shinrikyo onto 5 different lines of the Tokyo subway. The polyethylene containers, wrapped in newspaper, were punctured to release their deadly contents. As the trains arrived at the stations, carload after carload of sick and terrified passengers collapsed in fits of coughing and vomiting. 5,000 people were injured and 12 died. Exposure to minute quantities of nerve gas like sarin can cause breathing difficulties, blurred vision, and severe headaches. Higher doses can cause complete loss of muscular control and death. Experts believe that were it not for impurities in the homemade nerve gas used by the Om Shinrikyo cult, the attack would have been...
Around 10 suspected members of a notorious Japanese cult have been arrested in raids in the northern Russian city of St. Petersburg. More raids are underway in Moscow. The group, Om Shinrikyo, which is considered a terrorist organization, is suspected of collecting donations from supporters in Russia. For more on this, I'm joined live in the studios by Nadira Tudor. Nadira, thanks for coming in. Now, can you give us an overview of this Om Shinrikyo group?
Well, I think it's important to paint the picture as to what they are. They're a cult, a huge cult, and their leader is called Shoko Asahara. Now, his real name is Chizuo Matsumoto, and the cult is a mixture between Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, and I have to say some brainwashing. And the leader, Asahara, he's managed to convince the followers that he has supernatural powers, and he also convinces his followers that he's able to give them supernatural powers. So it's a very interesting group indeed. Now, in their heyday, there were 40,000 plus followers. So despite the strange concepts, to the likes of you and me, it's very popular indeed. He is currently in prison at the moment on death row due to a very serious attack that he orchestrated in 1995.
So it's not a new group, is it? Why are they of interest today? What's the current situation?
Well, there is a spread of the following around the world, and Russia is today involved here. Police in Moscow and St. Petersburg have been raiding apartments where they suspect there are cult members there. In fact, a Russia 24 correspondent reported from the scene that the police have seized various books and other material at an apartment in Volgogradsky Prospect, that's in Moscow, and similar measures are being carried out in St. Petersburg, as we heard before. The official representatives of the Russia's Interior Ministry and Investigative Committee have not responded yet as to what's going on.
You mentioned that the cult has gathered a bigger following in recent years. It's not just in Russia, is it? It's elsewhere.
Well, last month in Montenegro, dozens of members were also detained there. There were, I think, 58 of them found in a hotel. They were saying that they were holding a conference, but the risk was too great for the Montenegro authorities, and they decided to detain them. So, yes, what was interesting about that particular incident was that most of the people that they found out of those 58 were not, in fact, Japanese. They were from former Soviet countries.
Now, how dangerous are this group? I mean, what do we know from their past?
Well, they are most well known for an attack that took place in the Tokyo subway in 1995, where they were the first cult group to use sarin gas. They used liquid sarin, and 5 plastic bags were dropped around the underground, around the subway. And at the same time, and this is vicious, I kind of looked into this before, they used sharpened metal-tipped umbrellas and simultaneously attacked the victims, as well as spreading this sarin gas. So, strangely enough, the death toll wasn't as high as they expected, but nevertheless, 13 people were killed during that. I think over 5,000 were sent to hospital, probably 6,000 in total that were injured. So an awful lot of people were affected, and that is very much in the memories of people. What we can do is have a quick look to see what the consequences of that attack in Tokyo were.
which now accounts for a third of all Japan's coastline, is relatively soft and wet and allows the shock waves from earthquakes to carry on for long periods of time. During the Kobe earthquake, at locations on solid rock, the shaking lasted 20 seconds. On the reclaimed land, it went on for 2 or even 3 minutes. As its human landscape becomes more and more complex, Japan becomes more and more vulnerable to earthquakes. The country has spent a fortune studying them, but until now, no way of predicting when they will occur has been discovered.
Let me introduce myself first. My name is Hideo Murai, and my holy name is Manjushri Mitra Setaishi. I have been the head of Om Shinrikyo's science department since I became a monk at Om Shinrikyo. Master Sahara dares to do it, and his predictions have all proved right. For example, he predicted the earthquake in Kobe 1 week before. He predicted the earthquake in Kobe 1 week before the industrial and technological field, and we build many factories such as printing factory, casting factory, plastic factory, and so on. The last one is the scientific field in which we make various kinds of researches. In short, Master plays the religious part and I played the scientific and industrial part of Om Shinrikyo.
私もその散布したところは見ているんですね。例えば山の上から霧状のものが来るとか。
一つじゃあ聞きますけども、朝原さんは阪神大震災は地震兵器による奇襲攻撃だと言ってますが、これも信じてますか？
事前にかなり巧妙な準備がなされ行われたのではないかと思っております。
阪神の地震が。
ただしそれは天体の状況とかを利用してうまく時にタイミングが合わせた。
阪神大震災が地震兵器で起きたとすれば、それを使ったのは誰なんですか？
やはり大国だと思います。
米軍ということを。
いや、米軍と特定するにはまだ条件は足りませんが、かなりの力を持っている団体だと思います。
はい、わかりました。
大丈夫ですか？危ない。彼の発言を正しいですか？やめてください。おい、何やってんだこれ！ほら！